Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to arrange fractions in order of size. Now, in order for you to do this, you need to be familiar with how to convert fractions into decimals. Once we've got the decimal value for each fraction, then it's much easier to put the values in order, and then we can decide which one is bigger and smaller. So we're going to use the same method as we used to convert fractions to decimals in our previous video. So the step one is to convert the numerator into a decimal by putting a 0.3 on the end. So in this first example, in this first fraction here, the fraction is 3/4, the numerator is 3, so we write 3.0. Okay, convert it into a decimal. Once we've done that, we need to create our bus stop, and the 3 goes into the bus stop, 3.0 goes into the bus stop, and the 4 remains on the outside of the bus stop. Then we just do the division. So how many 4s go into 3? That's 0. We need to cross the 3 out here, put the 3 next to the 0. Make sure that the decimal point is lined up with the question. And then is how many 4s go into 30? That's 7. Remainder 2, because 7 times 4 is 28. Remainder 2. And then we put the 0 next to the 2. And how many 4s go into 20? That's 5. Okay, so the first fraction is 0.75 as a decimal. Let's do the same thing for the next fraction. So same thing again, we're going to convert the numerator into a decimal by putting a 0.0 on the end. So it's going to be 4.0. And then we create the bus stop. Inside of the bus stop we put the decimal, 4.0. And then we are going to divide that divide 4.04 by the numerator, which is 5, and then we just do the division. So how many 5s go into 4? Well, that's 0. Cross the 4 out, put it next to the 0 over here. Make sure that the decimal point is lined up with the question. How many 5s go into 40? That's 8. Okay, so you can see straight away that we've got an idea of size. So the first decimal is 0.75, the second one is 0.8. Now, because there are 2 decimal places here, you can add a 0 here so that it is consistent. So you can see here very clearly which one is bigger. So 0.8 is bigger than 0.75. Therefore, that means 4/5 is bigger than 3/4. So we still have one more decimal to go, so one more fraction to go. So same thing again, the numerator, just highlight the numerators. The numerator, we convert that into a decimal by putting a 0.0 on the end, so that's 1.0. We then create our bus stop, and inside of the bus stop we put our 1.0, the decimal that we've created, and then outside of the bus stop we put our denominator. So how many 10s go into 1? That's 0. We cross out the 1 and put it next to the 0 here. Make sure that the decimal point is lined up, and then we do how many 10s go into 10? Well, that's 1. And same thing again, because there's 1 decimal place here and there are 2 decimal places here, we can just add a 0 here for consistency. So now it's very clear to us which one is bigger, which one is the biggest one. So 0.8 is the biggest one. Okay, and then 0.1 is smaller than 0.75, so this is our smallest. Okay, so if we were to order these fractions according to size now, starting with the biggest, we would write 4/5, followed by 0.75, which is 3/4, followed by 0.1, which is 1/10. Okay, and that's how you arrange fractions in order of size.